Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a problem that costs heavy industry millions, but you can't even see it. It's silent, it's invisible, and it's happening right now in plants all over the world.
So, let's kick things off with a question, especially if you're involved in running a refinery or a petrochemical plant. What is one of the biggest hidden costs that's constantly draining your resources? It's not raw materials, and it's not labor. It's something much, much quieter.
Well, the answer is steam. Or to be more precise, steam leaking from traps and valves. These small and sometimes not so small leaks are incredibly tough to spot. They can be hazardous, and they represent a massive, massive waste of energy.
And look, that waste isn't just a minor issue. It translates directly into two huge problems. On one hand, you've got this major financial drain. We're talking pure energy and therefore money just vanishing into thin air. And on the other, there's a serious environmental impact, with all this unnecessary CO2 being pumped into the atmosphere.
You know, the scale of this whole thing is it's staggering. Our experience and industry studies show that the potential for steam savings is often over 15%. For a big industrial plant, a number like that doesn't just improve the bottom line. It can completely reshape its entire financial outlook.
But here's the good news. This invisible problem, it has a very real and, most importantly, an intelligent solution. We're talking about a solution that brings steam management right into the digital age. And yeah, that's exactly where BiTherm comes in.
The whole mission here is to apply some serious intelligence to steam and energy. This means getting past those occasional old-school manual inspections and moving to a system that, basically puts digital eyes and ears on your equipment 24/7. It's all about catching any little anomaly the very moment it happens, without ever needing to shut down production.
Okay, so that's the what. Now let's get into the how. We're going to break down how this whole Industry 4.0 technology provides a modern solution to this age-old problem.
It really boils down to this clear four-step process that takes all that data chaos and turns it into smart, actionable decisions. It starts with continuous sensing from every single asset. Then, the system automatically diagnoses failures. From there, the platform tells you, hey, this is the most urgent thing, fix this first. And finally, and this is so crucial, it gives you hard evidence of the results, proving the savings with data after a repair is made.
I love this idea because it really gets at the heart of the transformation. That simple mechanical steam trap, it's not just a chunk of metal anymore. Nope, it becomes a connected, intelligent, and predictive asset. It's a true part of Industry 4.0.
Now, what I think is one of the most powerful things about this is the flexibility. Look, every plant is its own little universe, right? That's why the technology is agnostic. It doesn't matter if your site needs long-range wireless like LoRaWAN, cellular connectivity, or heavy-duty industrial protocols like ISA 100, the system just adapts. We can even mix and match them for a hybrid solution that fits like a glove.
The tech is cool, for sure, but let's be real, at the end of the day, it's all about results. And these results have been proven in some of the most demanding industrial settings on the planet. Just look at this figure for a second. Over 45,000. That is not just some random number on a slide. That represents pure, hard-won experience. That's over 45,000 steam traps and valves being monitored all around the world. And believe me, every single one of them has taught us something and made our diagnostic system even smarter.
And all that experience, well, it's earned the trust of some of the biggest players out there. We're talking about giants like Saudi Aramco, Repsol, Moev, and Solvay. These are companies that absolutely cannot afford to take chances, and they rely on this technology for their most critical operations.
Let's zoom in on a specific case study to see what this looks like in the real world. Take our project with Moev. It was so successful, it actually won a prestigious Inertic award. The project was applied to 940 of their steam traps, and what we found was an initial leak rate of about 6.35%. Now, those results are impressive, but that's just from one targeted project. To really get a sense of the potential here, let's scale things up. Imagine a typical refinery with, say, 10,000 steam traps and a leak rate over 15%, which, by the way, is super common in the industry. What would the savings look like then?
Well, the financial impact is, honestly, it's staggering. We are talking about savings that would exceed 17.5 million euros every single year. That is a total game changer. I mean, just imagine what your facility could do with an extra 17.5 million euros in the budget.
And it's not just about the money. The environmental win here is just as massive. This would lead to a reduction of over 44,000 tons of CO2 emissions annually.
So you're making a real, measurable difference for both your balance sheet and for the planet.
This quote really gets to the core of the whole philosophy. It's not about selling smoke and mirrors or pie-in-the-sky projections. It's about executing turnkey projects where you can actually measure, touch, and see the success with your own data. That's how a return on investment is guaranteed.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? Simple. The way we manage steam has fundamentally changed. Forever.
You see, shifting to a smart, data-driven approach, it's not just an option anymore. It's not a nice-to-have. For any modern industrial operation, it has become an absolute necessity. So here's the bottom line. The technology is here. The results are proven. The only real question left is, are your operations ready to make that leap into the level of efficiency, safety, and sustainability that the future is demanding right now?
And that's our explainer for today. Thanks so much for watching. The future of industrial efficiency isn't coming. It's already here. The only question is, are you ready to be a part of it?